Kia ora, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the CAS 360 Discovery webinar for the month of May. My name's Kajal, and I am the Business Development Manager for BGR New Zealand. I'll be taking you through the webinar today. Before we get started, I do want to go through some housekeeping. So firstly, this webinar is recorded, so you can definitely just sit back and absorb the information that's going to be, presented to you today. And don't stress if there are people from the firm who couldn't attend today. You'll definitely get the recording once this webinar is completed, so you can definitely present that at a later date. Secondly, since this is a webinar setup, we definitely do want you to be engaged and ask us some questions. So there is a Q&A section at the bottom of the Zoom window where you can basically ask us any questions. I do have my panelist here today to help support answer any of those questions. So we have Jeremy, our business analyst, alongside Ra Williams, our account manager for New Zealand, to help out with those as well. So definitely do plug those in. Before we get started, I do want to give you a bit of background on BGL. So BGL is basically the company that developed, and founded CAS 360. So basically, BGL was founded in 1989. We've been in the software industry for over 35 years. We've got over 225 staff members, and our headquarters are based in Melbourne. We are in multiple jurisdictions, so as you know of, New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and now the UK as well. So getting into CAS 360. So CAS 360 is a cloud-based accounting software that integrates directly with New Zealand's Companies Office and helps your firm manage your company's trust and your AML and CDD workflow as well. We're launched to the New Zealand market in 2020. We have over 100 firms and over 30,000 companies that we're currently managing in New Zealand. Across the APAC, we've got over 1 million companies and 4,000 firms. We're also proud to say that we are ISO certified, so your data is secure and protected at all times. So a bit about what I'm going to go through today. We are going to run through a few of our key features, but again, please note we're obviously not just limited to the key features we're going to show you today. Obviously, due to the webinar and time frame, we'd just like to go through some of the key highlights. So we'll be going through the annual returns and company changes, the AML and CDD workflow, alongside BGR ID, which is our in-house identity verification, alongside our smart alerts, which is quite unique to CAS 360, electronic filing, how we generate and automate your minutes, resolution reports and registers, the trust management side of things, and in my next slide, I will talk to you more about our integration partners. So these are currently our integration partners. So CAS 360 is connected to over 10 apps within New Zealand. So basically what that means is your tech stack is able to communicate with one another. A lot of times you might have, different type of standalone softwares that really don't talk to each other and it becomes quite manual. But the good thing is we are with the leading accounting industry integration partners. So for our practice management, we have Xero and APS. For identity verification, we are with BGR ID, which is in-house, and I'll show you an example later on in our webinar today. We also we have CloudCheck as well. With our e-signature partners, we've got DocuSign, FuseSign, and Adobe Sign. We will be going through an example as well on what that looks like and how information is received and communicated alongside statuses and things like that later on. With the document management, we've also got FYI, sweet files, and virtual cabinet. So right now, if this is currently your tech stack, or if basically you're looking to implement any of these integration partners that we currently have in the next 6 to 8 months, definitely do have a chat with me. I'm more than happy to cater more of a personalized webinar where you can actually, receive that information based on the integration partner and the steps forward as well. Awesome. So we'll head through the demo now. So when you log into your CAS 360 account, you will be able to see your home screen, which is also known as the company screen as well. So when you log in, you will be able to see your authorized companies under company name. And again, with this screen, you can definitely personalize it by using any type of, columns that you would like to add. We've definitely got ones that we've already locked in, and you'll know shortly why. And you can basically just, turn the toggle on for whatever you would like as well. So I've currently just had it pretty simple, just to show you with our test account. So we'll go over the Smart Alerts, which is the most unique feature to CAS 360. So if I hover over, we've got three different Smart Alerts. So the first one we have here is annual returns. So right now, with your annual returns alert, you can basically see which annual return is due, upcoming, or is not filed. There's different statuses that are basically represented by different colors within the calendar icon. So we can go ahead and we can hover over and actually click through. So I'm just going to click through here onto Superstars Pro Limited. So basically you can see that a annual return is due on the 31st of May. So you can basically go straight to the annual returns and start the process. Or later on, we will go through our return screen and go into a bit more depth of what you can actually see within that screen. Also, we have the health check, which is also another very unique alert. So basically with the health check, once there is like any basically mismatches or discrepancies between the CAS 360 and company's office data, you will be getting the heart icon turn red, which basically shows you that there are some, discrepancies. So right now, a bit of an extremist example, but we've got a total of 24 mismatches, hence why the sad face. But you can see that this morning at 5:12 a.m. there was a check that was completed, and these were the three different categories, and amongst those categories you'll see the total number of mismatches found. To find out more about that, you can go straight into each screen and see what the mismatches are, but also later on we'll go into the return screen and show you how we can actually export a report, which side by side shows you what the CAS 360 database is, what the company office database says, and what the actual discrepancies are. So that's pretty neat, especially like for an example, let's say, like a director or, like a co-founder of a particular, client that you're managing goes straight into company's office, makes the change and kind of thinks you would already know that information. So right now, there's obviously no other way to gauge that information, but this health check allows you to get that transparency. Then we thirdly have our compliance alert. So with our compliance alert, we basically have again different kind of basically different kind of documentations or different kind of workflows that actually trigger a alert. So with the compliance review required, so when we go through our compliance workflow, you will be seeing at the end where once you've done a compliance check, you can put in the review date. So let's say if it's from today, it's a year's time or 2 years time, you can definitely plug that date, and 30 days prior, you will be getting this alert that will trigger saying that you have a review coming up. So it gives you ample amount of time to get all your documentation ready to complete that as well. Right now, you could be using any type of Excel spreadsheets or just basically scanning information and putting it on hold, like especially like, let's say, like with your driver's license. You've probably, scanned it, filed it away, or put it in an Excel spreadsheet, and you have to filter through every single time. But what we have here is we have the identity document expiry. So let's say if you plug in a NZ driver's license, and you plug in the expiry date, you will be getting the alert once the document has expired. And like an example over here, we can use CAS 60001 Limited. We can see there's an individual within this firm that has a driver's license that's expired. You can go straight to the compliance like tab, and then you can actually make the changes, which is pretty good. And then also there are like multiple other outstanding, documents, such as if there's multiple different ones, you'll be getting the compliance alert. So that basically means a compliance document or a contact identity is expired as well. So you can get those alerts and get the gist of that right now. So what I'm using right now is I'm actually using one of the labels. So I'm actually using my name, and I've actually put a favorite icon on this label, which is my name, and that basically just shows you all the companies that I would be managing. Let's say I'm like one of the partners at the firm, so you can basically get visibility of what you would like to see amongst your clientele, but you can also personalize it. So you can put in any type of billing, urgencies, or methods that you have internally. You can put in things like if they don't require like any type of e-signature, like sending in emails, they prefer like mail or hard copy. You can definitely put that in by just clicking on and just putting in like something like no email, and basically personalizing that as well. And then later on, these can be used throughout your screens, whether it's trust or returns, but you can also actually use them when you're trying to generate like reports and things, which is quite neat and quite handy as well. Right now, a few of you guys might be thinking, hey, look, I've got like a large clientele. So CAS 60 caters for all small, medium, and large size you know, firms. So currently, it doesn't matter on the number of database or clients you have. You can actually filter out with each status. So you don't just have to go over and hover over everything and figure it out. All the statuses come here too, so you can simply just click on them. You see the tallies next to each of the statuses, and you can basically see that as a total, and then also your health check as well. So that's quite neat and quite important at the same time. So awesome. Let's go ahead to our return screen where I was mentioning that we'll go through a bit more detail. So what you basically have here is the annual return month. So you can basically go through and you can filter by by the month and the year simply by just clicking on the calendar icon. And simply just plugging that through. So we just want to see May's annual returns, obviously. So we're just going to go through that here. Then these statuses that we did see in the previous company screen, it also comes through the return screen as well, which gives you more of a overview of what your workflow is looking like. You can again pre-plan what you're going to be seeing for the month. It gives you a lot of visibility as well. And again, you can be more time efficient by knowing what you have coming ahead too. Also, I will export one of the comparison reports that's failed right now for Superstars Pro Limited, like we can see here, and show you what the differences are there. Also, the labels do flow onto the screen as well. And since I had that already plugged in, that's what the screen's reflecting now. So let's say if you had, quite a hefty, month doing annual returns for the month of May. Obviously, we've just got two on here, but let's say if you had multiple ones, you would basically select all of them, and you can do bulk annual returns filing. So I know, there are a few firms that like to, divvy it out by month. Or some of them just like to accumulate them and actually have like a dedicated month for them. So definitely CAS is the way to go if you are going to be doing a bulk annual returns. Also, as I mentioned, we have the failed comparison report here. So right now we did go over the health check. So that basically flows on, showing us what the discrepancies are. So this is quite, there's quite a lot of mismatches in this case. So what we'll do is we're just going to go, instead of going into each screen, we're just going to export a comparison report. Awesome. So now we're just going to plug through this and see what the discrepancies are. So you can see this report that I just pulled through is literally the same time, that we've basically exported. So right now on the left-hand side, you can see the column of the CAS 360 database. On the right-hand side, you can see the company's office database. And in the red lines are basically the discrepancies or the mismatches. So right now you can see and compare everything. So everything else that is, in white, that basically means that the information matches between the two databases. So this report is quite neat if something like this occurs, because you can look at all of this, get in touch with your client before sending their annual returns, saving you a lot of time with, eliminating that back and forth. And you can basically just, simply just prepare the annual returns. From the screen here instead of, going back and forth and saying, there are discrepancies here and there. So whenever you do prepare a form or go through a workflow or transaction within CAS 360, on the left-hand side, you'll see the workflow and a bit of details underneath, what type of transaction that you're going through or process. In the middle, you see the supporting document pack. So right now, once the toggle is yes, obviously this is compulsory. So the dotted line basically allows you to preview that document. So right now we'll preview the annual returns, and all of this is automated for you. So, you're just basically doing an internal check. If everything looks all good, that comparison report also supports you in having confidence in your data being relevant and current. Then you also have the options to toggle on any other documents that you would like, but you can also upload anything, like if you would like to upload your billing side of stuff or just any type of other supporting documents that you put within this process. You can also have the option to download if you would like to, or you can send it straight out of CAS 360 using a electronic signing option. So right now we see that we're using FuseSign. So with FuseSign, we're basically going to use this as a default option today. Also with your email options, there are options to select the templates that you would like. We're just going to go with the default one here today. But you basically get the gist of how you can actually cater the screen accordingly to how you would like it as well. So I'm just going to click on to send all. So once I've clicked on to send all, I'm just going to basically, I can either CC or BCC someone, or in the subject line, I can also put in, like you see, I've just edited the year. I can also edit this as well. And, again, we've just got that automated, the client's first name that's going to appear here. We can also add your corporate logo as well. So this is going to make it more personalized, and it's not just, going to take you about 30 seconds to do a annual return. So we'll just click on to send all, and that's basically me sending it by CAS 360 using FuseSign as a digital signing option, and that's basically sent out from CAS 360. Awesome. So we're going to go back into the company screen, and we're going to go through the company registration side of stuff. So you can do a company registration within your CAS 360. So if you would like to do a company registration within CAS 360, we have to go through a name reservation prior to that. So right now, if you have a client that's like, hey, there's a company that I'd like to register, so how are we going to plug that through? So what we have here is the proposed company name. I've just plugged in KJ8697 Limited, and basically it says a success. name is available. The company's office has determined that KJ8697 is limited is currently available. So this is quite instant live, as you've seen. I've just plugged in something super random just to show you, and you can basically go and save and prepare. And what CAS 360 does is we prepare those documents for you. So now that we've done a name reservation, we're going to show you what a company registration would look like. So I have done this previously where I have already done a name reservation and it's been approved. So right now we've done Gym and Tonic Limited. You can see this here. So once that name reservation's been, approved, you can basically see it down here in your drop down. And what you have now is you've got 8 different steps to complete before you've completed the whole company registration side of things. And please note that everything in here is approved and supported by company's office. So it definitely reflects the information that they require as well. All these forms are basically here and for you to go step by step. So right now, any type of drop downs, suggestions that you want to put in for the address, they'll also be linked to Google Maps as well if you've not found them either. So basically, you'll go through the steps. I'm not going to go into super detail of what the steps are. Like I'm definitely sure you've done a company registration before, so it's quite similar, but obviously this time we're here to provide you with the supporting documents. And in the next steps, I'll basically show you what that looks like. So what CAS does is we prepare your pre-incorp documents. So right now, what you can see here is that we have prepared those documents for you. So left-hand side workflow in the middle, let's go ahead and click on a few of the documents. So first we've got here is the company registration summary, which is in the drop down here. And then you've got the compulsory forms 2 and 3. So this is from company's office. It's all updated. You can see the logos and things, but what we do is we pre-fill it. And then you can also send it out of CAS 360 like we did before. Obviously, we've just let the annual returns brew on the side for a bit. We'll get back to that. Don't worry about it. And then we've also got the form 3 as well. And then you've got your consent to act and your application of shares. So this is why you would actually do it through us, is because we help you with those supporting documents, and especially with your post-incorp documents. So what we show you here is the first, we prepare the first director's minutes or resolutions. Again, that's definitely up to you on what your firm actually uses, because I know some people are kind of 50-50 or 80-20. Or kind of 100% on just kind of doing minutes or resolutions. It's totally up to you. So here we've basically, prepared your first minutes or resolutions, saving you quite a lot of time and also being efficient because you're using the information we've already plugged in. Then you have your, your registers as well that are updated for you. Like you can see today's date, 21st of May. And then we've also got the shareholders register as well, alongside the officers one that we just showed you. So again, you're not constantly going through and updating multiple different places. We're doing it as we're completing the workflow, which is quite intact and obviously provides you with a lot of efficiency in the information because you're not actually manually having to do it. It's with all the information that we shared with you previously. So let's go in to see the annual returns that we prepared earlier. So this is obviously what your client will receive. So right now you saw that I did edit the subject line to 2025, also the header as well. Then you saw that we had a bit of a, the client's first name would plug through. Like you can see it has here. And then also if you were to have your corporate logo, that would be, just plugged under the signature there. So now we're just going to click on review. This is going to take us to the View Sign portal. So we're going to review documents. Let that load. Awesome. And we'll start signing. So right now, this is, your client's going to look at this, scroll down, give it a bit of a preview, and then they'll be able to, click on the sign or reject side of stuff. If they were to click reject, they would put the reasoning in there and that will come back to you in CAS 360. In this case, we're just going to sign it because we're all happy with it. I'm just going to plug in my name for this one and sign it straight through. All of our digital signing partners are all authorized and approved by Companies Office. So they would be accepting this as the document's completed as well. So we'll go back into CAS 360. And what we'll actually do now that we've completed that, we're actually going to go back into a company record. So since we are using Superstars Pro Limited as one of our example, clients or firms today, then we'll plug into that. So basically, once you click onto a actual client or firm, you'll be able to see all these different tabs associated to Superstars Pro Limited. So right now we can see here, we can see the company details, company contact, so all your general information's in here. Then you've got the address. So now when you do company changes, this is how CAS 360 will support you. So let's go ahead and let's plug through a different date. So we're just going to use the Parnell one for today. I've just use something that's in the drop down and just click on to save. So we had the Key Street address, but now we're actually looking into the Parnell one. So now that we've made a registered office change, we'll be able to prepare our form. So what you can see here is basically, we're making a company change, what the details are, and here are the supporting documents pack that's generated by CAS 360. So now we're going from the Ellerslie address to the Parnell one, and you can basically see those changes there. And then we'll look into our directors' minutes for resolutions. So this is also automated for you. And let's say you're trying to do like multiple different changes within your CAS 360. You can do it within this preparing documents form. So right now we can go in here and we can basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add myself, the director, just appoint myself, fill the forms, and basically it will turn the print toggle on and prepare documents for us. So you can see that we've done a company address change. Now we've done an officer change. So it's just adding to your supporting documents pack. Now we've got the compulsory form 9 that you can see here. That's also pre-filled for you. You can see all my details here. And then that signature spot there as well for us to send out. So the same stuff as we did in the annual returns. You'll see our minutes or resolutions is also going to be updating as we speak. So right now the address change is in there, the appointment is in there as well of the director. And it's basically also giving you the shareholder minutes too. Awesome. So you can basically see that in the drop down. And all of this is automated for you, again, providing you all that information. And then it's also updating our registrar. So as I said, once we're doing these processes and transactions, it's quite robust in terms of, updating everything and preparing it for you. So you can see here, we've basically just, added myself as a director, today's date, you see the date of the registrar. So everything's updated because sometimes I know it becomes quite difficult to, you might just accidentally miss something out, but here CAS 360 helps support all of that for you. So we can go ahead and we can add a director's interest as well. Now that we have kind of a few associated within this firm, we can basically go in here. We can add multiple different directors if we would want to, and we can basically just add any type of information that we would want to, and the details as well alongside the values, and just click on to save. And then all your relevant information within your director's interest comes up here as well. Awesome. So now we'll move on to the shareholders. So within the shareholders screen, what we basically see here is a breakdown of the total shares. So basically you get the tally of it in the middle. But if you hover over, you know what shareholder and the number of shares allocated to them. alongside at the bottom, there is a percentage breakdown as well for you. And then also what actual transactions that we do support within your CAS 360. So you can do a share issue, share transfer, subdivision, consolidation, all of that can, that goes in directly can be filed through from CAS 360 to company's office as well. So right now what we can do here is we'll probably do like a share transfer, just as an example. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically plug in um, all the relevant details within your form that you should complete in order to complete the share transfer. So that's all the relevant details that I need to plug through. Once that's done, just got a tally of prepare form 3 now. So again, you don't have to send multiple different emails. You can send it all as like like you can send the document pack all together with all those relevant changes that we've made. So you can do multiple different changes and then send it all together within your CAS C60. So basically, let's look into the register of shareholders. So right now there was a transfer done from Anthony Lee to myself. So there's a transfer out today of 10. Who was it transferred to? And then I've got a transfer in and then from Anthony as well, and then also my balance. That's all updated for you guys within that one click, as you just saw. Pretty simple. Um, I know it can be a bit daunting when you're looking at something for the first time, but once you start doing these, transactions, you'll definitely become a pro at it as well. So as you can see, all the supporting documents are here. You've got your share certificate, share transfer. You get the gist of it now. Anything that's toggled off no is basically, it can be there to support you, and you can definitely, by all means, turn off and on whichever toggles you would require prior to sending it up to the client or just making the lodgement if you'd like to. Awesome. So we've also got, now that we've done the company changes, let's look into the dividend side of things. Awesome. So we'll go in here, just do ordinary shares. I'm going to plug in a random amount of the dividend amount and look at all the tax rates and the withholding tax rate as well. That looks all good to me. I'm just going to go in and basically see all the supporting document pack I have for the dividend production side of stuff and the document production side of things as well. So you can see the dividend statement here, and I can scroll down and basically just get an overview of that. So the cool thing about the supporting documents is prior to sending it out, you can always preview them. As long as the toggle, says yes, you can preview any type of documents. If they require a e-signature, you basically just have the pen icon next to it. As soon as it is green, it's basically enabling it. If you click onto it, that basically grays it out, which means it's basically disabled the signing side of things there, that particular document. But again, you can always look through by just previewing the document. So you can basically see all the documents that we prepare for you for this particular transaction, which again provides a lot of accuracy. If you filled out the forms accordingly, you'll definitely get the correct documents there to support you as well. Awesome. So earlier we did, go through our annual returns for Superstars Pro Limited. So right now we can see here in our document side of stuff, we can see that few signed by client on the 21st of May. So since we've signed that, it basically has updated the status for us, which is live. If we had sent it out, would obviously just say that and today's date, obviously. But since it's been signed out, the status updates itself. And then you can also look at the attachments that are provided here, and the documents that were signed by FuseSign will definitely have the FuseSign icon next to them. And you can basically just click on the eye to preview anything you'd like to, or simply just you can also download the attachments as well. Awesome. So we'll go to compliance. We did talk about a lot of triggers and alerts. So we'll definitely go and kind of link that in with you at the moment and show you what that actually means. So there are 7 different steps that you can go through within your AML and CDD compliance side of stuff. I know this can be a bit of a gray area on how to do this, what is the right way to do it, but definitely these 7 steps do require give you a lot of support in that field there. So basically, step one, we've got the CDD required. We can plug in information that we would like to the date that it's actually completed. If we are looking to complete it today, or maybe later on, you can always go save for later if you wish to. So with the second step, we've got nature of business relationship. So with the drop down, there are different business relationships here. Look, maybe some of them might be more trust orientated. That's totally fine. You can definitely free text and add in what type of business relationship you would want to in your free text side of stuff. And then you can also upload any type of supporting documents by either browsing through your, internal files or just by dragging the document within this, supporting document side of stuff as well. You are able to add multiple different type of nature of business relationships if you wish to. There's definitely those options there. Then we've got source of fund. So the source of fund is like an overall, source of fund for the client or for the firm. Um, and basically again free text and you'll just be uploading the supporting document. So it's quite repetitive obviously when you're making yourself familiar with this, so there'll definitely always be like a free text and uploading supporting documents, which genuinely helps. And then you've also got the option, you don't have to. You can actually do it for an individual. Like, let's say if it's like a director or founder of that firm you're managing, you can basically have them have like an individual source of fund check, within themselves. It just basically depends on how you want to do it based on your clientele or your process at your firm. So this is when we can actually do a CDD for a individual. So right now you will be able to see what relationship they are in. So basically whatever is in your offices will reflect here alongside the percentage of shareholding they have within. So basically over here we've got your pet check required. You can definitely turn the toggle on to yes on that. And then again, as I mentioned before, you've got your source of fund required if you do require that side of stuff as well. So again, same stuff, free text and uploading supporting documents. And it gives you like a place to keep all of this. And then again, you are able to see it under the, like the contact information or under that particular individual. So you don't just have it on file and in paper form, but you've also got like a digital asset as well. So we were talking about your identification alert earlier, and how it gets triggered. So right now it's like, for an example, I'm using New Zealand's driver's license. I will plug in all the relevant details alongside the expiry date. And this is basically what triggers the identity document expiry alert. So you can basically see that once you've actually plugged in details here. But what you also have is our in-house identity verification that we currently have. So we've got 3 different types. So right now, like let's say if you're, your client, you're using an NZ driver's license. Right now, your firm's based in South Island, but you're managing someone in North Island. So you really, some firms, they might, use like a video call or something to identify if they're actually, you know, um, like an actual person or whatever, however they want to verify it. Some people have people come through the office and verify themselves. But what this actually does is it takes a NZ driver's license, for an example, and it basically checks it against databases, which is quite important. So right now, for the first one, for NZ Government ID Check, there's three different types of databases that it goes through. So it checks the driver's license against government ID databases, AML databases, and global sanctioned databases. So this basically just provides you that extra layer of security on this individual. So this also includes a pet check, and it's $9 per person per check. So this is a pay-as-you-go service that we provide within your CAS 360. Then you have your advanced check here. So this is basically everything the ID check is, but just with a adverse news database. So with the adverse news database, basically it is like, like if there's any type of articles, or your client is, just migrated to New Zealand and was, like abroad for a while, it does definitely help to do that check there. And then we also have the biometric scan side of stuff. So basically with the biometric face scan, it basically is, your client actually hovering over their identification type. At the moment, we're doing NZ driver's licenses. So and we're also doing like a passport, but obviously there's more documentation required at the firm's end to actually let your clients, kind of use that option at the moment. But let's say we're using your client as having a NZ driver's license. Basically, what they're going to do, they're going to use their phone, scan a QR code, and basically hover over the front and the back of their identity type. And what they'll basically also do is also take a bit of a selfie of their face. So basically what that database does is, or what that scan does, is it scans their identity type, their face, and it basically shows if it matches. But then it also checks those three databases that I've mentioned before. So with the advanced check and the biometric scan check, those are also $12 per person per check as well. And it just depends on what type of check you want, and that's totally up to you. Awesome. So you can basically go through each individual and do that, and you'll basically see the drop down of all the individuals within your firm or within your client base for that particular step as well. Awesome. So we'll go through next, we'll go to the risk assessment. So this is quite important, step 5. So it shows you the risk options that you would require. Right now, there's something in here that you would like to add. You can actually do that and add multiple risk assessments. But then you also have the overall risk rating for the client that you can use the drop down for. And you can basically plug in what's required alongside the level of CDD required. So you can also see what the drop down is here, and basically plug that in there too. So you do have the option to add any notes that you require. It's basically going to stamp the person and also the date and when it was modified, based on the notes that you want to plug in here. Anything additional that you would like to plug in will definitely be noted here, and you can just simply click on to save. And other people going in can also make some notes or look at the notes if you're doing a review, which is quite good. Then we basically have the other alert that I was talking about, which is the review required. So let's say we completed everything today, and let's say we would like to review this next year in May or maybe the year after. We're simply able to basically plug that date in. And from the 21st of May 2027, we'll get a alert 30 days prior from this date. So you have ample amount of time to get all your supporting documents and plug it in those different 7 steps that we went through today, and basically do your AML and CDD side of stuff. So again, BGL, that's a additional cost if you're going to be using it. The AML side of stuff, if you don't require that check to be done, is inclusive in your CAS 360 subscription. Awesome. So let's go through I'm just going to discard this. Let's just go through the multiple changes screen. So with the multiple changes screen, you're basically able to do, like let's say if there's a particular director associated or particular office associated with a certain amount of clients or firms. So you can basically make those relevant changes here, any type of contact changes or company changes. So let's say there's like a officer change. So we're basically just going to plug in Ronald Lopez for this example. He's a director. Go to next. Okay, let's say he's like associated with multiple different firms. And let's just go proceed. That's basically allowing you to, make an officer change amongst those different, firms that this particular individual is associated with and make those changes within your CAS 360. Again, super time efficient, productive, and if screen here, which allows you to make those multiple changes. And again, not just go into each kind of different record and make those particular changes, but it's a screen to give you that visibility. Again, it prepares all your supporting documents. So we've made the change here. Again, it's giving you all those compulsory, forms and then updating the registers as you go as well. So that again is quite efficient. Then you've got your freeform documents. We've gone through a lot of documents here today. Like, we've gone through minutes, resolutions, we've gone through reports. So with these resolutions and minutes and stuff like that, you are able to plug in something more personalized or, use the terminology that you would like to use within your firm or the format that you've been using. So you have that option there. So anytime, let's say like a director's minutes or resolutions, like let's say we'll just go and click on this one here. Like once it's, plugged in, like, or generated through a particular transactional process, you're able to select that template basically for again CAS 360 to automate that out. And you also get things on how you can actually plug and automate certain kind of scripts as well. So you have that option there. So like for an example here, for CAS 360 Limited, we've got a director's minutes and then we've got a company's freeform document here. So every time, they would have an option to plug this in, quite similar to our email templates that I was showing you earlier as well. So that's that option there. And then you've got your document side of stuff. So you've basically, this is the universal side of stuff within your documents. So basically, like anything you send in and out of CAS 360, you can see in the document side of stuff. If you want to look at a particular firm's record or client record and their documents, it's basically just clicking on their records and then going into documents. But again, you can see the live statuses and simply click on the lodge button for those documents that require that and make that and complete that process. Awesome. So now we're going to go into our trust module. So with our trust, we do have a import template here that you can basically just download and fill in, and then our support team can help plug that through, for you within your CAS 360, and then take things further from there. So what I'm going to do here is I will actually look at all of these selections here. So basically, we've got the different types here, different trust types that you can see that we have within CAS, and then also the compliance alerts also plug through here too, alongside your labels that we mentioned before. So let's go ahead and look into a family trust. So within a family trust, you can basically see the trust details here. And then you have your relationship. So within your relationship screen, you are able to add a relationship as you wish to. So you can plug in any of the relationships that you want to, and that will definitely, help, trigger anything and obviously help support with your any type of documents. So we can go ahead and we can add a trustee. So we can basically just plug in this one here and just go into save. Awesome. So this has just prepared a document, and now we can see the trustee minutes here. So we'll just let that load. So you can see the trustee meeting minutes, the appointment of the trustee, and you basically see a breakdown here alongside the Register of Trust relationships as well. So I'm just going to scroll down and you can basically see the details that we've appointed here. So that's basically done within your screen. And then we've also got your beneficiary side of stuff as well. So you can have the option to add a beneficiary here within your screen. So we can go ahead and we can do that now. So I'm just going to add one here. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's basically just prepared a form for us again. So again, we've got our minutes resolutions, but then we've got our register of beneficiaries that we can actually look into. And we've just added or appointed Ronald Lopez, and you see today's date here. So again, we're doing the processes, we're completing the transactions, but we're also getting the supporting documents as we go. We also have the distribution side of stuff that we can add in. And what we can basically see here is we can basically just add something like this. I'm just going to add 100 here and just go save and prepare. I've just simply just done one distributions. Obviously, you're going to go through everyone and do that. And you can basically just go prepare form here. And what you can see is the distribution statement that we have here. So just did Ronald Lopez did $100 here. Obviously, the amounts are going to vary. This is just an example, and you see the distribution resolution as well, and then all the trustees and stuff with the signatures too, and list of distribution paid, just a breakdown of what I've just showed you earlier as well. So you get the gist of that. Then we have events. So any type of, let's say if you've got assets transactions, gift and liability transactions, or any type of other transactions, you're able to plug that through your CAS 360. And again, that updates your events registrars and, like you saw, just updates all of that kind of side of stuff as well within your CAS 360. So you can basically just see that within your events tab here. And then your documents and compliance is basically a mirror image of the company's module, but then what actually happens, or your company screen, but what actually you can see here is obviously for ABC Trust, you can see everything here. And then for compliance side of stuff, you're going to see, your beneficiaries, and you're going to see the relationships in the individuals side of stuff here once you click onto the CDD required. Awesome. So we'll go back into trust, and I do want to show you really quickly what a unit trust looks like here. So let's just go. So instead of beneficiaries, we've got unit holders, quite similar to the shareholders tab in your company screen. So again, total in the middle, hovering over to see the unit holders by hovering over, a breakdown percentage here, and then again, the same type of stuff, like you've got your you've got the unit transfer, you've got your subdivision, consolidation. So we'll make like a little kind of unit transfer, click on to save, and you basically have the prepared documents here, and you've basically got your supporting documents. So it is quite robust in terms of automating your documents and saving a lot of time and providing that efficiency for you. So lastly, the report side of stuff, the reports tab, you can see here that we've got the company reports, where you can have all, your relevant, annual returns listing. You can prepare your workflow. You can also have visibility over your companies, any type of trust reports that you would like to plug through. But most importantly, you've got your company registers. So you've got the full register set, or you can actually go and plug out some individual ones. Alongside, you've got your trust registers that we're talking about, like the trust events, beneficiaries, unit holders, that all plugs through here. And then you've got like your status reports for compliance here too. So alongside the triggers, you've got a lot of reports that's here to support you and make you audit ready for compliance as well. So that kind of genuinely brings us back to the home screen, and this kind of gives you a general overview of CAS 360. What we're going to do is we are going to go back into the slideshow before we wrap up. So basically, we do have ongoing support for your CAS 360 journey. We have a dedicated onboarding specialist that helps break down what I've actually spoken about today in a bit more detail. You have a learning channel, which is, short, videos, 2 to 3 minutes to show you like a share transaction or like an annual returns and how to file that through. Like there are little videos there to support you of what actually CAS looks like when you're doing it. So you can have a double screen and follow through. You also have CAS 360 online help. So what that basically essentially is it's basically a in-house kind of search engine for CAS 360, pulls out articles that basically supports you on those particular transactions alongside some screen grabs as well. So we're there with you in the process as well. Then you also have a dedicated account manager, Ra Williams for New Zealand. He's also a panelist today as well. So he's there to help you once you've completed your onboarding with your onboarding specialist. We've also got new feature notes. We love to keep up with the market. We love to, always try to improve and have, like our best practice out there. So we definitely have new feature notes that are included in your subscription, which basically will be updated for you, so you don't really have to do much on that end. And then you've also got a support team for anything technical alongside a live chat. Pricing. So CAS 360 is $20 per company per annum. You can pay either, you have two subscription options, annually or monthly. That's totally up to you. What's inclusive is it's unlimited trust, unlimited users. That includes the AML compliance framework of those 7 steps. Your regular automated software updates, like I mentioned, new feature notes, seamless migration, the onboarding specialist side of staff, on-demand training as well. And then we've got a 30 days money back guarantee because we have a lot of faith and potential in our software, also with no lock-in contract. So you're not binded into anything. And basically that's the breakdown of the pricing side of stuff. With BGL ID though, it is a pay-as-you-go service, so that is obviously additional based on the pricing that I mentioned to you within the webinar.